Hello, my name is Jackie and welcome back to my channel. So I have 10 minutes. This is how a lot of my gardening happens. I have 10 minutes before I need to go to my son's school, and I help one day at an afternoon at his school. I have 10 minutes and I came out to plant some seeds and I realised I actually need to cut out these kohlrabi in order to then plant something where they've in the space that they're taking up. So the kohlrabi haven't bulbed up. I don't know, they didn't have enough water. Whatever the issue was, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to cut them out and I'm going to put them into my compost, and I'm going to plant something else in their stead. But this is how my garden happens. So basically, these just got super big. Like, look how big that is, and it just didn't bulb up. So don't know exactly what happened, but it's taking up space that I need. So they've got to go. Now I tried to make chips, like kale chips, out of the leaves to see if I could get some use out of them. I don't like kale chips. I know that there's recipes for them all over the internet, but I don't like them. So I'm just going to use them as compost fodder and be okay with that. You win some, you lose some. Oh, what do I do? Oh no, I'll take that one out too. There is a little one here in the middle that, I don't know, maybe it'll bulb up. I'll leave it in there just in case. But all these others are sort of big and woody, and they're really past turning into a kohlrabi bulb. So I just have to swallow the defeat. I thought for a while that they were like a giant kohlrabi and that's why they got so big. So then I went back to a photo of the seeds that I had planted. They're not giant, they just grew really big and didn't bulb. So these things happen. And you know, when I first started gardening, something like this would have debilitated me, you know. I would have been devastated that I had wasted all this time, all these resources, all of my time and effort, only to have to cut these out. But, you know, this is just what gardening is. You win some, you lose some. It's one of the main things that gardening has taught me. And you can't get upset about it. You just have to try again next time. There goes my timer. Don't know if you can hear that. I need to get my biscuits out of the oven. I will be right back. Hi, I'm back. That only took me a couple of minutes. I had to get my chocolate slice out of the oven. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plant some daikon mushrooms. Unfortunately, because I had these in my pocket, the front of it has rubbed off. So I can't tell you exactly what variety they are. But I'm just going to cut. What I'm probably going to do is just plant in between. That's a weed. That's a weed. I'm going to plant a line because these roots are probably fairly extensive. I'm just going to plant. Oh, there's another weed. I'm going to plant a line in between where my kohlrabi were. And I've had to bring out my kitchen scissors. Hopefully I don't leave them out here. So how annoying is that? Not being able to find your kitchen scissors when you need them. Okay, so we could actually start up here. I'm going to start a little bit further up. So, yeah, as I was saying, sort of when I first came out, this is literally how a lot of my best gardening happens, is when I actually don't have a lot of time and I just get in and I do things when I have a moment, you know, like, and I feel like one of the main issues that people have with gardening, whenever I talk to people about the fact that I garden, they talk, you know, oh, I'd love to have a garden, but I just don't have time right now. And I get that. I do. And, you know, in some cases, you know, perhaps they really don't. Perhaps they really do have just too much on right now. And, you know, it will become possible in a slightly different season of their life. But I think what a lot of people are actually saying is that they don't have time for what the perfection of what they think gardening means. And, you know, we think that gardening should be, you know, having plenty of time to plan and do all the right things and, you know, spend all this time planning and thinking and doing things perfectly. And the fact is that if we wait until we can do it perfectly, we don't do it. And, you know, the thing I would bring up to people is, do you really want to do it? Because if you don't want to do it, that's fine. That's actually okay. I've actually said this to my mum recently. My mum's been saying for years that she wanted to garden. And she had the opportunity about 12 months ago. And, you know, because she'd been saying she didn't have time. And she had the opportunity 12 months ago. And I don't know, something else happened as a result. And I finally said to her, I said, Mum, do you really want to garden? You know? Initially you were saying it was because you didn't have time, and now it's because of this other reason. Maybe you just don't want to garden. And that's okay. Like, you're allowed to not. Not everybody wants to. But, you know, when we really want to do something, sometimes we just have to make we have to fit it in between, and it's not going to look perfect. You know, like, my gardening is so imperfect. I don't keep good enough records, and I don't really allocate enough time to things. But, you know, I have learnt to fit it in when I can. And, you know, I have failures because I probably didn't water them enough, or, you know, something didn't quite go as it perhaps could have. But, you know, look at everything else that I've got. I made tomatillo salsa for the first time last week from these very sorry looking tomatillo plants from beside me. It's not very perfect. It's really, really not. Now it's about to rain. And I also really do have to go, and I'm probably now going to be late because I've spent too much time, because this is also what happens. I get out into the garden and I get distracted, and I end up chatting to you too much. But I would just so strongly encourage you to, number one, work out if it's, whatever the thing is. It doesn't have to be gardening. It could be anything. But do you really want to do it? And if you do really want to do it, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need to look perfect. It doesn't need to, you don't need to get 100% of everything right all the time. You can stuff things up, and it's good enough. If it makes you happy in the process, if you enjoy the process. I love coming out here and spending too much time here, and I'm about to get rained on and rushing about like a headless chicken. Like, I actually really love spending time out here. And every time I do come out here, I'm like, I should spend more time out here. But, life's busy. So thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for listening to me. And don't clean the house. Don't do all those things that you don't really want to do. Come out here. Bake some bread. Do whatever the thing is that you want to do. I don't know, it could be something completely different. But do whatever it is and do it imperfectly and enjoy the process. Okay, bye.